This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin Bees. I'm a certified personal trainer and a fitness nutrition specialist, and I spent, unfortunately, 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, and now I have turned the tables and I'm exposing it all, the manipulation, all different types, the wellness grifts, the speaking out of, I don't even know what to call it, and I guess just overall wellness advice without having the credentials to do so. Now, today's video was served to me, thank you, Facebook algorithm, because it showed up on my timeline, and within a matter of, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, I figured out exactly where this was going. It did take me a little bit to figure out what company it was, but you know, we've got the emotional backstory, the God brought me here moment, the you're seeing this for a reason moment that we see in a lot of these. And then out of nowhere, imagine making $300 a day and then doubling that and then increasing some more. I should have quoted her because that's what she says in this. So today we're going to be breaking this video down piece by piece, not just the manipulation, but also what is conveniently left out of this video. Things like, how much does it actually cost to join MWR Life, the travel MLM company that I haven't covered since last Halloween when I was Catwoman. I'll make sure I link that in the video description. That was a lot of fun. She's also leaving out what their own, I was going to say income disclosure statement. It's more of an income disclaimer, if you will. Numbers that, you know, are being left out or vague, which is interesting because apparently it's been around for 10 plus years. Fascinating. But anyways, this opportunity is if it is as life-changing as she claims to be, that data should back it up. And unfortunately, that's not the case here, and we're going to talk about it. Okay, let's get into it.
Hello, friends. What's going on? Christy Garrity here. Okay, I just shared two things in my stories that you guys got to go see. I have an interview with two of my top leaders. I'm telling you, it is worth watching. You can see it in my stories. And I just had the privilege to go live with Christine, another one of my top leaders. And so I'm going to share that in my stories too. Listen, I know you guys have been watching. I know some of you are super curious. What is it this girl is doing? Okay. I've been in this online space for many years. I've had a lot of different businesses, some really successful, some not so much. And so I've seen a lot of different things. And I know so many of you have followed me on that journey. And for that, I want to say thank you. I know a lot of you too, you're questioning, should you make a move? You're also questioning maybe, should I just be done with this online space? And some of you are saying, should I try something for the first time? I don't know. Is this a pyramid thing? I don't know. All this stuff sounds kind of crazy, right? There's so many questions. But here's the thing. Life is short.
Yeah, life is short, so she wants you to join a membership-based pyramid scheme, in my opinion. This all sounds like a typical MLM video where they're pitching the opportunity and they're trying to tap into, you know, your mindset and, you know, oh, you're scared, do it anyways, those types of things. But here in just a second, she's going to go on this storytelling journey of being on a mission trip and then tries to tie it into the opportunity, the MLM pitch. It is the wildest, I don't even want to say wildest. It is such a reach. I can't even believe it. So when we get to that point, I'll make sure that I point out the bridge that she is trying to use to link Christianity and serving others on a mission trip to an MLM opportunity. So just brace yourselves for that.
We know this, right? And there's a few things in my life that have really affected me. And it was interesting because just about, I don't know, this was a couple weeks ago, and somebody asked me the question, had to do with travel, but what was a time in your life where you just felt really free?
Of course it had to do with travel. Of course she's got to put that in there. Of course it had to do with travel because you're in a travel MLM company. You notice how they always sneak those little things in there? They're trying to, plant the seeds and get people to ask a question. When was a time in your life when you felt free? And of course it had to do with travel. You know what I mean? Wow.
And I started to think about it. And there was a pivotal time in my life. I was 20 years old. I went on a missions trip to Russia. It was in the summertime. I was in nursing school. And it was a time in my life where I felt very free. I loved to travel. I wasn't married yet, didn't have a boyfriend. I was just kind of like living and just doing all these really incredible things. And so I remember being in Russia and I was on this trip and it was really sad. There was a lot of sadness. There was a lot of poverty. And we would work in these hospitals that actually became orphanages. Parents would come and they would drop off their kids and leave them there because they couldn't afford to take care of them.
Now, if you're asking yourself what this has to do with the MLM pitch, nothing. Really nothing. I think her telling this story is really about emotional priming of her audience and getting people to listen to her story, an attempt for them to trust her. I think that it's also a way of setting the stage to bring people's defense mechanisms down. Because when you're hearing a story like this and it's emotionally charged and it's around serving and she's also going to throw in Christianity, that brings people's defense mechanisms down, in my opinion, and makes them more open to the bridge that leads to the pitch that we'll see here shortly. So this is nothing more than emotional priming, I feel like.
Nurses, hi Jill. Nurses were getting paid like, I don't even remember, back then it was like something like $30 a month. I mean, it was so minimal, you couldn't even live on it, right? Just crazy poverty. And here I was working, 20 years old. My eyes were very open to a whole new world that I had never seen before. And it really changed so many parts of my life. And I got to see firsthand so many different Christians that were over there because we worked with the Red Cross, not the Red Cross. We worked with Salvation Army over there. And we worked with a lot of people in churches and they would bring us to different places. And I saw these people and their faith in God. And I saw their love for people and they didn't have anything. And I just remember being like, man, I had to take a shower in this one tiny little apartment building that we stayed in. It was me and an older woman that stayed there and we stayed with a Russian woman. And I remember going to take a shower. Hi, Tanya. And you had to take a match and you literally had to light this little, I don't even know what it was, this little flame thing to get hot water. And so I lit the match and I'm standing in this tiny little box of a shower. And I just remember thinking, this is wild. And then when it came to breakfast in the morning, and I'll get to my point on this, but
yeah, please do, because what does this have to do with the MLM pitch? Oh, nothing. This alone, if she was just talking about a mission trip and maybe trying to invite other people to be a part of the mission trip and she's just sharing her journey, what she learned and all of that stuff on that mission trip, that would be fine. Let's not forget she's going to be combining this with an MLM pitch. Now, it is such a reach. I'm genuinely worried about the health of her shoulders. It's that much of a reach. But we'll get there here in a few. This on its own would be fine and inspirational and may even entice people to join their next mission trip with their church or whatnot. But no, this has to be some sort of I'm a Christian and nothing against Christians. All beliefs and lack thereof are welcome here and they always will be. But this has to be like an attempt, in my opinion, at some kind of Christianity, virtue signaling, trying to get people into MWR Life where she can personally financial gain, which from what I understand of Christianity, and y'all let me know in the comments, that seems very self-serving and the opposite of Christianity. I can't imagine being a Christian and being a part of a multi-level marketing company where you are trying to entice people to join that company so that you can personally financially gain off of it and then brag about your life. It just seems the opposite of Christianity. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments.
When it came to breakfast in the morning, I remember, I was 20 years old. I got a quick funny story for you. I'm sitting at the breakfast table And there is myself, the woman that was also from the US that I got partnered with. She was about 60 years old. I was 20. And then this Russian woman who was probably in her 70s or 80s. Okay. And she brought out the best of the best for us. And it was vodka. So there I am, a 20-year-old, never had a lick of alcohol, sitting there on this mission trip. She brings me a little shot glass of vodka, and I'm sitting there going, what do I do? I'm not supposed to have alcohol. I don't even know why I'm going off on this tangent, but it's funny, right? So there I sit. I'm like,
I mean, is it? Is this funny? I mean, I guess I'm just waiting for the punchline here.
I can't offend this woman. So she's watching me. This other lady's watching me, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is going to do to me, but I took a little sip of it. And all of a sudden, you guys, I'm like burning on my insides. If you've ever had any vodka, you know what I'm talking about. And I'd never tasted this stuff before. I'm burning on my insides, okay? And she starts, this Russian woman is laughing hysterically. And she brought me over a cucumber. And I remember she told me to eat the cucumber, and I ate the cucumber, which relieves some of this. Anyways, I could go on and on about stories, but the funny part and the really cool part, not funny part, but the really cool part of this, it was a very pivotal, life-changing time for me. And so how does this have to do with what I'm doing right now?
Right. What does this have to do with any of that? Nothing.
When this person had asked me, what is one of those moments? That's what I said. And I said, you know what? I want my kids to experience moments like that. And I want to experience more moments like that.
Now, which moment are we referring to here? Because in that story, she talked about, being on a mission trip and going to Russia. She talked about the shower and having to light whatever it was she was referring to. She's talking about the taking a shot of vodka. Which experience do you guys think that she's referring to when she says, I want my kids to have these experiences? The optimist in me is like, okay, she's talking about, traveling. Okay, she's going to try and tie that into MWR Life, where she personally financially benefits when you join, while also talking about a mission trip. Listen, I'm going to say that multiple times because it is such a self-serving, I don't even know what to call it. We'll just leave it at that. Anyways.
I want to be able to go on another missions trip. Maybe it's in the US even. Maybe it's not. Maybe we go back to Russia. I don't know. But I want to be.
This video was posted, I think, like 2 weeks ago. With everything going on, you want to go on a mission trip to Russia and you think that's safe as an American. Don't get me wrong. If you want to go on a mission trip, go on a mission trip. Absolutely. If that's what if that's what you believe in, and your company, or not company, your church, your organization that you are a part of is going on mission trips, fantastic. There are so many ways that you can serve the community in your local area, in your state, in our country. I think that that's amazing. But the fact that she's tying this all into a pitch and then also throwing in there, I want to create these experiences with my kids, as if MWR Life is the answer to do that, is bizarre. And if you're wondering, like, why did I call the churches a company? Because I do think that the churches should be taxed. That's a business, in my opinion.
Able to experience more. And when I was first approached with this business opportunity, I said, no way. I don't like to travel. This is what I said, you guys. Now, I told you that story because I want you to see how much I had changed. I had started to take on, from being that 20-year-old girl to where I am now, take on so much baggage and so much fear and so much, just these pieces of life just started to come with me that I became very fearful. I became fearful of making decisions. Like, anybody else hate to make decisions? Drop me some hearts if that's you. I became very fearful of making decisions, and I started to think.
This is her, in my opinion, trying to get ahead of objections. So when somebody says, oh man, I've been thinking about it, how she opened up her video. I've been thinking about it. I'm just so scared. I've tried other companies, or, I've always wanted to do something like this, or thought about doing something like this, and I'm just scared. This is her trying to paint the picture of, I was scared too, and I decided to reclaim my identity. Now, the identity from personal experience of over 13 and a half years in various multi-level marketing companies, your identity becomes what the MLM and specifically the upline wants it to be. What I mean by that is when you join an MLM company, and let's say that they're teaching you to build on social media, your language changes, your posting patterns change, what you are posting about changes, the way that you are messaging people and reaching out to people changes. It becomes a whole different identity. How many times have we seen somebody that we're close to, friend, family member, neighbor, whatever, that joins an MLM company and all of a sudden they start showing up differently on social media? And then when people are like, you just sound so different, they're like, yeah, it's the personal growth. No, that is the MLM culture that you are seeing in real time. So she's painting this picture like, oh, I was scared too, but I did it anyways. And I'm so glad that I did. That's what we're getting into. Bizarre.
That, you know what? I'm not that girl anymore. Like, I can't do this, right? And I really started to believe that. And when somebody asked me this question the other day, I said, I am still that 20-year-old girl. Yes, I may have 5 kids now. Yes, I have been through a lot of life, but those dreams and those desires that were inside that 20-year-old girl did not go away. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Like, does anybody else, drop me in the comments if you can relate to what I'm saying. You stop dreaming. You stop thinking, no, I can't do that. But what we forget is that God has put something inside of us. And there's a reason that's inside of us. And sometimes we can feel so frozen in time and just so frozen that we don't know which way to move, right? Because life has just been coming at us. And it's so hard to figure out what to do next. And when I thought about that, I said, I want to do more of that.
Now, why am I shaking my head? Because she's painting this as MWR Life is a God thing, and that people are seeing her videos because God is guiding them to MWR Life. Now, you can't convince me for 1 second that God, that Jesus would want somebody to join a multi-level marketing company where statistically people never make any income. Absolutely not. You cannot convince me that Jesus would want you to join MWR Life so that you can go on mission trips, which, how do those two connect, right? You can't convince me that Jesus and God would think that, oh my God, this lady showed up on your timeline on social media because you are being guided to that. I don't think so. I don't think so for 1 second. Jesus would just go out into the community and serve whoever was in front of him, help whoever he could. And that's how that worked without putting it on social media. Like, look what I did. I helped somebody, X, Y, and Z. Look at me. I did my good deed. That's weird.
There's a reason that was inside of me. And I believe all the fears that I started to carry with me, Victoria, you hear this, right? I believe all those fears I started to
I bet Victoria is somebody she's trying to recruit or somebody that's on her team.
Carry with me were the enemy's way to keep me frozen.
Right. So the enemy, aka Satan or the devil, is making you scared so that you don't join MWR Life. Do they hear themselves?
Because he knew what God brought me here for. He knows what God brought you here for. So we have a choice, right? So when I was approached with this opportunity, I laughed. I was like, I didn't laugh. I ignored it, straight up ignored it.
Well, which is it? Did you laugh or did you ignore it?
I was like, there's no way. I don't want to do this. Like, there's no way. Hi, Christina. Hey, Alex. Hi, Joanne. I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is crazy. I don't travel. I don't do this. I hate to fly. I'm afraid to fly. Like, I started listing off all these things in my head.
Wait. So you're telling me you have a fear of traveling. You're scared to fly. You laughed at somebody pitching you MWR Life and you still joined? If 2 + 2 is 4 and 5 + 5 is 10, what the hell is this?
And then I'm like, no, that's not me. That's this idea of me that has been created, but that is not me. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like,
do you hear what you're saying?
Who I am? That is who I am. So why wouldn't I take my kids now into that life? Hi, Nate.
Okay, this is bizarre because now I feel like she's tapping into people that have children, mothers that have children, and their identity shifts as they become parents because priorities shift. Things that were not a priority before are now a priority because you have a child, you have children. So obviously, when it comes to some of our needs, that has to come first because you have a child that's depending on you. So now what she's trying to do here, in my opinion, is she's trying to reclaim identity as a woman, as a mother, and trying to frame that as a way to entice other people, other women specifically, other parents, if you will, that are struggling with identity. And the very fact that when you join a multi-level marketing company, your identity becomes the MLM is absurd to me. All of this is absurd to me, honestly. But I want to point that part out because I can remember going through some of those same things after I had kids. You know, after you have kids, your identity change, your roles change, your responsibilities change, and that's just a part of the process. But to use that, to weaponize that, and use it as a hook, in a sense, to try and recruit people into MWR Life, along with the layers of fear and the layers of spiritual manipulation along with all of that, is just, it's vile.
Into that person, right? Not this fake person that I've created. Yes, my experiences are different. Yes, I'm a mom now.
What do you mean, this fake person that you created? I'm sorry I'm pausing it so much, but what do you mean? Are you saying that the person that you are presenting yourself as right now on social media is not really who you are? Because I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's social media. You know, you think you know somebody, but you're really only seeing what they want you to show. And it's usually a small portion of that, you know, but coming on the internet and saying these things as a pitch for your MLM company is, it's a choice, I suppose. It's wild work, in my opinion.
Yes, I have all these things that I've gone through, but that's even better. So I finally stopped. And I looked at this and I said, there is no way God is calling me to the travel space. Nate, you're going to laugh at this, right? Like, there is no way God is calling me to the travel space. There's no way. That is the last thing that I want to do.
Because he's not. Because he's absolutely not leading you into a multi-level marketing company.
The last thing. And then I got on a couple of phone calls with Tom and Kim Challen and Jen Perga. And I started to hear their vision.
Yeah. So you got on a 3-way call where you were outnumbered. And they probably love bombed you and told you all of the positives of being in MWR Life, the vision, the systems, the comp plan. Oh my God, nobody in the space is doing this, right? They told you all that stuff. Did you get a bridge contract? Because it does sound to me like you came from another company. It does sound to me like that, which, when that happens, they bring team members and customers from previous companies, run up the ranks really quickly. Come on, man.
And you know what started to happen? I know, look at me now. I love it. And you know what started to happen? Those scales, that baggage that had been put on me, that I allowed, right, to put on myself for the last 20 years, all that baggage, when I was that young girl who loved to travel, started to come off.
Okay. If you're going to make it sound like an MLM is a therapist and helped you work through trauma and fears, you are dead wrong. Couldn't be me. This is wild work. If you are having trouble with fears or just dealing with day-to-day life and things that you're going through, talk to a therapist. An MLM company, a MWR Life, a travel MLM company, is not going to heal that. I can't believe she's saying this stuff.
Who knew that having this conversation and travel was going to start to I get chills thinking about it, was going to start to take off years of baggage that was on me. And so I started to think about it and I said, no. When I heard their vision, and it's so much bigger than travel, and it's so much bigger than finances, and it's so much bigger than this, I said,
oh, okay. So if it's so much bigger than travel and it's so much bigger than finances, do it for free. If the community is such an important part of it, do it for free. Without recruiting people into the same company, without these emotionally charged stories, without the faith manipulation, without the emotional manipulation. Do it for free. Oh, you won't. Yeah, okay.
I need to be part of this. Yes, life is just beginning again. I need to be part of this vision. This is big. these incredible Christians coming together and with the same vision. What are the chances of that? And
Well, I mean, what are the chances of a group of Christians coming together with the same vision? That sounds like church. That sounds like Bible study. That sounds like all of those things that are not monetized through an MLM company. What are the odds? I would say that that's probably quite common.
everybody's got a little bit different, but what are the chances of that if it's not God? Like, what are the chances? And so I said yes. I said yes because it is travel. I said yes because I don't have to be a travel agent. I said yes because I don't have to travel all the time if I don't want to. But guys, I'm finding that I'm starting to love it again.
Wait, what? So you joined a travel MLM company, but you don't travel? Or you do? Are you trying to recruit people into this and say, oh, you don't have to love travel, just join anyways? Is that what's happening? What is going on?
I'm starting to love it again. You know, like, yeah, like Nate said, you don't have to want to travel all the time. You could be a homebody and still build a business. But
That's exactly what she's trying to do. You can be a homebody and still build a business. Also, an MLM is not your own business, as we have seen countless examples of. You're trying to recruit Christians into MWR Life and saying, listen, you can sit on the couch and build a travel business. It's giving desperation. It's giving the audacity.
you guys, I am starting to love it again. That 20-year-old girl who loved adventure and wanted to go places, that fear that it was on me is starting to break off. And I'm like, well, maybe I can do this and that again. Maybe I can dream again a little bit. Right? And I started to think about all of this, and all of a sudden, it was like God started opening these doors. But the reality was...
Are the doors the ranks in the company that you were scaling? I know they love that word. Is that what's happening? The doors opening were people joining from previous companies so that you could make more money off of the membership prices that they pay every single month in the event that they do want to travel? Oh, but they can sit on the couch. They don't have to travel to build a travel business. This is bizarre.
Was the door. So I said something about this isn't high ticket, because I know so many of you guys come in here, you still think I'm with high ticket.
High ticket is either MRR, Master Resale Rights, which is selling courses that teach people how to sell courses, and it's like 100% profit. It is absolutely ridiculous. Or a lot of times that's Enagic. And I'm not sure which of those she's referring to. I'm not really sure. I don't know this person, and I don't have to know this person. I'm just going off of what she put out publicly here, and the emotional manipulation, spiritual manipulation, all of that stuff. So I don't know. Maybe she was a part of those, but that's typically what they call high ticket sales, is MRR, or I have to think because I always want to say MMR, and then we have MWR Life, which, by the way, she hasn't even told people that's what it was. She just says travel business, which is interesting. So it's either that or Enagic. I'm not really sure, but if you guys know, let me know in the comments.
High ticket, that door I was part of, it had to be closed. And I didn't close it. God closed it.
Or did you just resign? Or were you terminated? I don't know. I have so many questions.
And it totally freed me to be able to come here. And I had no idea the bondage that I had been in until I got here, and I was surrounded by like-minded people.
Oh, right. Yeah. You know what I find interesting about this is giving, the last company was great until it wasn't. The last company I was aligned with until I wasn't aligned. And now I found somewhere where people can win. And now I found the best comp plan. And now I found the best product. And now I found the best thing, until it's no longer the best thing. Right? That's what this is giving. I wasn't aligned with them anymore. God closed that door. There's always more to the story. Always.
People with a vision that is so big. People with the vision, like my vision number one is to share the gospel, for people to hear about Jesus.
Then go and spread the gospel to people that consent to hearing about it. Don't knock on people's doors. Don't be intrusive. If you're out and about and you're having a conversation, okay, people should consent to that. It doesn't need to be thrown in everybody's faces, in my opinion. Go and do that. You don't need to be a part of an MLM to go and spread your beliefs to people that are willing to hear about it. You don't need to do that.
That's all that really matters. But then
I can't wait for her to say, oh, I'm going to pray for her. I'm going to pray for my haters. Girl, please.
Top of it, people that want to have fun together, people that want to experience life. And guys, the income that I've been able to make here surpasses anything that I have ever done anywhere else. And I have built multiple six-figure businesses. I have had teams of thousands. I have done all these different things. And I came here and I said, okay, one, it's travel. It's a multiple trillion-dollar industry. Number two, this is something where my team can win. That was really...
She did not just say that. Oh man, I wasn't aligned. I needed somewhere my team could win. This is the best comp plan. Oh my God.
important to me. Because I've been in businesses, I've been in companies where I was doing really well, but it wasn't set up for people at the beginning to do well. But Yoni, the owner of this company, there's one owner, it's a debt-free company. It's been around 12 years. He said this, he said, I want people to win at the beginning.
Well, that's interesting because according to MWR's income disclosure statement that I'm looking at right now and Ava will put on screen, this doesn't show that, hey, it's got the people that just joined, the new people, if you will, in mind. Let's read this together. The MWR Life compensation plan is an exciting opportunity that rewards you for selling remarkable consumer services and for sponsoring other participants who do the same. Although the opportunity is unlimited, individual results will vary depending on commitment levels and sales skills of each participant. Since MWR Life has recently launched, didn't she just say it's been around for 12 years? Listen to this next part of this sentence. It lacks enough statistical data to prepare reliable income disclosures. After 12 years? What? The numbers below reflect estimates prepared by the company pending a more detailed survey to be conducted after its first year. Now that is bizarre, isn't it? 12 years and they can't even update this. Here's what they're saying that you could make in this company, but they don't have enough data to back that up. Based on industry standards and company projections, the average annual gross income before any expenses, any monthly memberships, annual renewals, initial fees to join, things of that nature, for lifestyle consultants is projected to be anywhere between $500 and $2,000 for the year. What a range, huh? There will certainly be participants who will earn less while others will earn much more. We're excited about the MWR Life compensation plan and we're confident it will provide you a solid foundation to help you achieve your financial goals. If income projections were presented to you prior to your enrollment, such projections are not necessarily representative of the income, if any, that you can or will earn through your participation in the compensation plan. These income projections should not be considered as guarantees or projections of your actual earnings or profits. Success with MWR Life results only from hard work, dedication, and leadership. What a weird way to say recruiting, right? I mean, am I right? That's so wild, too. 12 years in the making, and they can't even put out an income disclosure statement. And perhaps they have it hidden and it's not publicly available. You have to be a distributor in order to have access to that, which is even more bizarre. If you are trying to recruit people, if that's the case, if you're trying to recruit people into your company and you have the little people, if you will, in mind, which actually isn't little people, it makes up the majority of these companies, meaning people that are not making any money and hanging on and processing their monthly membership fees in the hopes that one day they're going to hit it big. That makes up the majority of these companies. Come on. Also, I think now is a good time to talk about what it actually costs to join MWR, according to information I was able to find online. Apparently, it's $99 to join. There's a $99 annual renewal fee, and then you're paying approximately $20 a month minimum, and sometimes it's even more depending on what membership tier you join. And I'm sure that has something to do with undue influence from the upline. Get the best one because you get the bigger discounts or whatever. So she's going to mention here shortly about making $300 a day. Remember these numbers when we get to that point, because you're going to have to be paying all of this before you can ever get to $300 a day. And my question is, what rank do you guys think you have to achieve in order to make that $300 a day that she's going to talk about here shortly? Because I bet you have to be in the upper third, if you will, I'm being generous here, in order to even make that. Now, this is not a compensation plan video. This is me exposing the tactics to try and recruit people into MWR Life using all the forms of manipulation that I've already talked about. But I wanted to cover those numbers so that people are aware of what it actually costs to join this company. Save the money. All right, let's get back to the video.
And so when I saw that happening, I said, this is so powerful. To already have 300K earners on my team.
How many team members do you have? Let's run those numbers. What percentage of people on your team are actually hitting those ranks and making that income? I bet it's a small percentage. I bet it is.
10 months myself, and to have multiple other 100K earners on my own team is incredible. I mean, that's life-changing. And so
for that small percentage of people,
you have that piece. There's no starting over every month. You get paid infinitely deep. You get paid daily. I get paid every single day. Every single day, I'm getting paid because of where I'm at in the business. And
right, probably because of your rank. Actually, let's look this up real quick because now I'm curious. Not a 404 error on their own website for the comp plan. God, that's embarrassing. Oh, they have an server error for an overview video. $500 guarantee. Let's see what this is. MWR Life's $500 guarantee is like no other, offering our lifestyle consultants the opportunity to earn a guaranteed $500 monthly income simply by following the steps outlined below. Guess what? There's no steps outlined below. So I can't access the comp plan online because their website has a 404 error, so it's probably hidden behind you have to join to find out. I don't think so.
that starts at the very beginning. These things are so powerful, you guys. And the cool thing is every single person can do it. Imagine
every
this.
single person can do it, but more than likely based on industry statistics, that's not going to happen. I'd love to be able to show you that, hey, this is not going to happen based off of their income disclosure statement, but this company is so lazy or maybe deceptive that they haven't updated an income disclosure statement on their own website in about 12 years. Now, is it lazy? Is it deceptive? You guys let me know what you think in the comments.
Okay, imagine making $300 every single day just because of where you're at in the business. Now imagine that doubling.
And how many of your team members is that happening to?
Now imagine that going up again. The people that I just partnered with, Tom and Kim, they just hit what is a diamond rank. And
did they join from another company? Were they on your team in the previous company? I think she said she joined like 10 months ago. Were they a part of that company? Did they bring their team members? Probably. You know, they always are going to highlight the outliers, the small percentage of people that are successful in these companies, because I'm going to say brainwashes. It brainwashes the people that are not seeing that type of success to think that one day they'll have that success. They never tell the whole story.
They're making $750 every single day. That's 1 out of 9 ways.
And that is an income claim. You can't say that. And I love that's just 1 of 9 different ways. Oh, okay. So is one of those ways, 1 of the 9, to get paid commission off of selling these travel programs to customers, and the other 8 are off of having a team, building a team, ranking up? Because I bet it is.
It is wild. It is incredible. It's the best comp plan I've seen. But on top of that, you get a free trip for 2 people. You get, when you have it auto financed, you get that. I mean, there's
auto finance. You can't even make this up, you guys. By the way, have you had some water today? I hope you have. Take care of yourselves. I'm laughing at the auto financing thing. That probably means that it's like an auto setup, an auto payment. You know, you put your card information in there and it runs your monthly membership fees. Or maybe it's you pay all of instead of a monthly payment, an annual thing. You get, I think she says a free trip or something. I may have paused it too soon, but if you auto finance it, girl, this is embarrassing.
So many benefits that I could go into, you guys. It's wild.
Wild.
And I know I digressed a little bit and I had a little bit of story time in here, but I feel like
I wouldn't call it story time. I would call that spiritual manipulation, but maybe that's just me.
It's really powerful if you see right now, if you see this video, or somebody else has shared this video with you maybe.
It's a sign.
You're seeing it again, and you've seen it again, and maybe you've seen somebody else's video and you've seen posts. There's a reason you're seeing this right now.
Yeah, and you know what that reason probably is? Because you've watched, commented, participated, shared, saved some of the videos that you've seen before, which is why the algorithm fed me this video, is because I was seeing a lot of these same videos. I found out now that they're all MWR Life, which tracks. So maybe it's not a God thing, and maybe it's an algorithm thing, you know, because the algorithm is going to feed you more of what you're already watching on social media. Oy.
There's a reason this came to me. Financially, we were struggling when we...
Oh, wait, didn't you just say? Hold on. Didn't you just say you were making multiple six figures? You had a team of thousands? Now we're going to get into, I don't even know what I want to call this. I guess trauma dumping a little bit. Her husband has some health problems, and she's going to talk about struggling financially. I hope his health problems have been handled and that he's healing and everything is good in that department. I don't wish ill will on anybody. I wish she would stop using these things to try and manipulate people into joining MWR Life when it sounds like she doesn't even travel, which is bizarre to me. But I don't wish ill will on anybody, you know, so.
Started this business just 10 months ago. We were 3 mortgages behind, like where you start getting the letters in the mail. Like, that's pretty, like, are you kidding me?
Wait, but you were in high ticket sales back then? I think I need to do a deeper look into all of this because I'm curious on the time frame of all of this stuff happening. She's reaching so far back to when she was 19. I just saw that it was her birthday the other day and she just turned 49. So she's reaching back 30 years to try and share a story to manipulate people to join MWR Life. Now, the interesting part about that is when you see somebody join another company, they try to deny the history of the previous company. They try to say, oh, I wasn't aligned. I didn't like the leadership. I didn't like the comp plan. I wasn't making any money. My team wasn't winning. And they just try to move on to the next thing. But they're bringing customers more than likely, and they're bringing team members from the previous company. So this is really fascinating to me, the time frame of this. So she goes back 30 years. She's telling this story. Then she joined this company 10 months ago. This is like the big gaps in the resume that employers don't want to see. What happened in between 19, when she was 19, 30 years ago, and 10 months ago? I feel like I need a whiteboard to connect all of this. And again, I don't know this person. I don't have to know this person, but I really find the gaps in her story very interesting because I bet if we went back on her timeline, I guarantee you she has missed posts that she hasn't deleted or hidden that talk about how financially healthy she is. And things like, oh, my husband is having these health battles. I'm so glad that I'm able to financially provide during these trying times, or something along those lines. I'm not trying to downplay his health battles. I don't know what his health battles are because quite frankly, it's none of my business. I'm sure she put it online though. But it would be interesting to go back and see what she was saying, 10 plus months ago versus what she's saying now in the story about, we were struggling. 3 mortgages. We were, what did she say? 3 mortgages. We were behind on all 3. We were getting those types of letters.
My husband was going through some serious health issues, and my business in high ticket, I had built 6 figures, but then it plummeted. And
why did it plummet? Oh, because multi-level marketing companies are not sustainable. Right. You guys said that at the same time, right? Okay.
So I sat there and I'm like, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If I don't do something, God, this isn't what I was praying for, but this is clearly what you're bringing me. So I'm going to listen, I'm going to obey, and I'm going to do this. And if this is coming to you, there's a reason you're seeing this right now. Our community is phenomenal.
Notice she didn't lead with the income you can make here is phenomenal. You're getting paid for your time and your energy. No. She's going to lead with the community. She's going to lead with like-minded individuals, other Christians. Yeah, because the majority of people don't make money in multi-level marketing. I mean, it sounds like she is, but it also sounds like she has a pretty significant team. And now I want to dig a little deeper and maybe do a follow-up video. If you guys would like to see that, let me know in the comments.
I hear this over and over and over again, whether you're just brand new in the industry, hi, gorgeous, or you are somebody who is a seasoned entrepreneur. We have the training, we have the community, we have the mentorship. I know this may sound like, yes, but I hear this kind of stuff all the time, Christy. Guys, I promise you, this is different and it is worth you looking at. When I ignored this and Tom Challen finally said to me, Christy, you need to take the time to look at this. I appeased him and I said, okay, I'll look.
You appeased him? Oh my God.
And that has changed my family's life and my life in so many ways, you guys.
For the moment, until it's no longer life-changing. And then you join the next thing and you tell the same stories and use the same tactics to try and get people into the next company.
Sometimes you just have to stop. You need to trust and you need to look at what God is putting right in front of your face. Thank you for being on here with me tonight. I love you all so much. Tyree, I see you. Lacey, I see you. You guys are amazing. And remember, regardless of what you're doing, maybe it's not what you're doing with me, maybe it's something else you're doing, follow the path God has put you on. Don't let the enemy try to have you hide that light. I don't know if you were a little kid and you ever sang, this is the little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Then you said like, hide it under a bushel. No, right? Don't let your light get hidden. Let it shine. This is our time right now that God gave us. You're here for a reason. Let your light shine. I love you guys so much. I hope you have amazing nights. I hope you have sweet dreams. And I hope you remember that you are a beautiful, wonderful child of the Most High King of Kings. Don't fear. He's got you. Love you all. Good night.
I'm uncomfortable. I don't know if it was the little light of mine. I don't know if it was the sweet dreams coming from a 49-year-old. That felt a little, I don't know the word that I want to use. I'm uncomfortable. Yeah, and I knew that part was coming, but hey, it is what it is. Here's the bottom line, you guys. I feel like we all need to take like a deep breath and have a minute. I don't think for 1 second that this video was about travel or spreading the gospel. I think this video was about using emotion, faith, and vulnerability to sell you on something, not me, but on her timeline. You know what I'm saying? To sell people on something before you even see the full picture. Notice she never identified the company. Notice she never provided any kind of actual statistics or facts so that people could educate themselves, do their own research, and then come up with their decision. No. She didn't want to do any of that, because if the opportunity was truly as good as they try to make it sound, you wouldn't have to lead with stories like this. You wouldn't have to say that, hey, it's a sign that you're here. The facts would speak for themselves, because facts are not attacks. But here's the thing. If these companies led with actual facts and statistics, nobody would join, because the facts show that the majority of people never make money in these companies. And in fact, I'm going to list a travel blog that I found where I think they figured out that 78% of the company made something like $18 for the year. But here she is talking about, you can make $300 a day. Really? How many people in the company are doing that? I'd love to be able to show the IDS, but we already covered that. So anyways, just keep that in mind as you're coming across people that are talking like this online. Because if the opportunity were truly as good as they're trying to make it sound, they wouldn't be doing the stuff that they're doing online to try and get you into it. People are hoping that one day they're going to hit it big. And it's not going to happen, because that's how these comp plans are written. We talk about this all the time on my channel. So just know that if you've ever felt pulled to join something like this, if you've ever joined something like this and, you feel ashamed or embarrassed that you were a part of it, don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel shame. What that means is that they press the right buttons to manipulate you, and you have nothing to be ashamed of. You have nothing to be embarrassed about. And hopefully, if there were massive losses financially, you're able to regain those over time. This unfortunately means that their predatory, in my opinion, marketing has worked, which is why I do what I do on my channel. If you love today's video, if you would do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on, and if you want to be notified anytime I upload anything, and be on the lookout. Stay safe, stay skeptical, and don't get scammed. I'll see you in the next video.